singer, songwriter, producer, actor, entrepreneur, and polygamist. While Akon was bringing us hits like Locked Up, Don't Matter, and Smack That, his fans had no idea he was building his own untraditional lifestyle behind the scenes. And what exactly do we mean by untraditional? Well, as of this video, the 5-time Grammy nominee has been legally married for over 2 decades. But he doesn't believe in monogamy in the traditional sense. In fact, he has several wives. Does Akon want to have his cake and eat it too?
It's impossible for a man to be monogamous. It's not in his nature.
Or is there a bigger meaning behind his desire to marry and procreate with multiple women? Initially, he was hesitant to divulge the truth, but over the years, he and some of his past and present women have given us a glimpse inside his lifestyle. Sit back, relax, and grab a delicious bag of our brisket beef jerky from rrgsnacks.com. It's time to dive deep into the truth about Akon's relationships. Akon Thiam was born in St. Louis and was raised by his Senegalese parents in a Muslim household. He spent much of his childhood in Senegal, and his family eventually moved to Miami before finally settling down in New Jersey. Because he couldn't speak English, he didn't start kindergarten until the age of 7. He told Vibe magazine that he was belittled by other Black students because of his dark skin and his accent. Music became his way to escape the ridicule. Growing up in a talented family, with a father who was a percussionist and a mother who was a professional dancer, Akon was musically inclined and learned how to play 5 different instruments at an early age. As he got older, he began writing songs that put a twist to traditional R&B music. He told USA Today, "I was trying to stay away from the romantic relationship type of songs because that's pretty much all you hear on the radio." Perhaps he gravitated towards non-traditional romance because his parents' relationship wasn't the typical boy meets girl fairy tale. Akon's dad was 13 years old when he selected Akon's mom to be his wife. Oh, and did we mention Akon's mom was only 2 years old at the time she was chosen? Akon told Vibe magazine that after his dad picked his mom, he raised her and protected her. They became husband and wife when she was 16 and Akon's dad was 27. His dad went on to marry 3 more women. And later, during an interview with Hot 97, Akon was proud to say he had 4 mothers. But he was quick to add that his biological mom was the only woman that actually raised him. We're unsure if this means all of his dad's wives lived in separate households, but we wouldn't be surprised if witnessing polygamy from an early age made Akon gravitate towards that lifestyle even more. In middle school, he thought he had found the woman he would marry. But he told Vibe magazine she wouldn't date him because he was too Black. They would talk on the phone for hours, but she would never acknowledge him at school. That early rejection, which was one of many, severely damaged Akon's self-esteem. When he and his brother Boo reached high school, their parents packed up and moved to Atlanta, leaving Akon and Boo to fend for themselves in Jersey City. Akon wasn't fazed by it at all because he said their culture trained them to grow up quickly. He said, "In Africa, you can get married at 13 and you're considered an adult, so it was nothing major to us." He and his brother had their own car and their own home, and their parents paid the rent. Akon said even though they were teenagers, they were very responsible for the most part. It was during this time a mutual friend introduced him to fellow New Jersey resident and budding musician Wyclef Jean. He graduated high school at the age of 20 and enrolled at Clark Atlanta University on a basketball scholarship. According to Vibe magazine, he dropped out after his freshman year and put all his focus on making music. He linked back up with his good friend Wyclef Jean and lent his vocals to the Fuji La remix, which appeared on the Fugees' 1996 album, The Score. According to the Hidayatu One website, Akon married a woman named Tamika Robinson in 1996. She became his first and only legal wife. As they started to build and grow their family, Akon also introduced the world to his hip-hop-inspired R&B music. which he claimed was based on his criminal entanglements and his time behind bars. His debut album, Trouble, was released in 2004 on Universal Records. With songs like Lonely and Locked Up, the album was eventually certified 3 times platinum. Due to the success of the album, music executives pulled out all the stops to make his sophomore album even better. Akon released his next album, Convicted, in 2006 on his own label, Con Live Distribution, under Interscope Records. That album went 3 times platinum as well. With the increased attention came more questions about his life. At the start of his career, he tried to hide his real age, but court records confirmed his date of birth as April 16, 1973. Online websites also proved that he had fabricated a lot of his criminal history, but his fans didn't care too much about that. During a 2006 interview with Hot 97, he also admitted he had several wives living with him at his home in Atlanta. He told the radio host that polygamy was part of his belief system, and he was allowed to have as many wives as he can afford.
Like in Africa, it's a tradition. So it's just a different lifestyle.
All your wives are African?
Nah, they all American, actually.
His statements caused a media frenzy. He told Vibe magazine he received offers to appear in a reality show about him and his wives, but he turned them down. As people grew more curious about his relationship status and living arrangements, Akon became more tight-lipped. He told Vibe magazine that opening up about his polygamous lifestyle had affected multiple people. He added, "It gets deeper than I can explain. Believe me, I wish I could." One thing he wasn't hesitant to talk about was his children. During his 2007 interview with Vibe, he revealed he had 4 sons, 3 of them with one woman and 1 with another. Court documents obtained by an online website showed that the mother of his 3rd eldest son filed a paternity suit against him in 2006. The mother was described as being an Eastern Kentucky University graduate, and she was awarded $2,795 per month in child support. The case left many people scratching their heads. Why would one of his wives take him to court? Was there trouble in Akon's polygamy paradise? The very next year, during an August 2007 interview with Blender magazine, he announced he was the proud father of a 7-week-old baby girl. He didn't go into any further details, but he did reveal that the baby was conceived by someone new, which officially made him the father of 5 children by 3 different women. When questioned about his earlier admission about having several wives, Akon told Blender magazine it was just a publicity stunt and he only had 1 wife. He said his wife was confident in their situation and she knew Akon wasn't going anywhere. Akon added that he was addicted to women. He said he used to chase women, but those days are long gone and now he's finally the one being chased. As he worked on his 3rd studio album, some drama emerged. In November 2007, a model named Rachel Ritfield spilled some tea to The Voice newspaper. So go ahead and open your second bag of RRG beef jerky because things are about to get really juicy. Rachel stated she had been in a 2-year relationship with Akon. He was honest with her about his multiple wives, but Rachel said those relationships didn't affect their romance. She added that Akon didn't live under the same roof as any of them, and his wives all lived in various parts of the world. She was so in love with him that she considered becoming his wife. She said Akon promised her she would be his last wife, and he would always give her anything she wanted. Rachel added, "The one thing I wanted from Akon was for him to be monogamous to me, but he could not grant me my wish." As the months passed, Rachel said she started to worry that maybe he wouldn't keep his promise, and he would eventually add her and a 5th wife into the mix. And then she was blindsided when she found out Akon had welcomed his 5th child with wife number 3. Rachel said she finally realized she deserved more from a man. Although she loved the lavish gifts Akon had given her, it wasn't enough to make her stay and agree to share him with all the other women. So she dumped him and tried not to hold anything against him. She told The Voice it's not Akon's fault. He is only following his cultural and religious tradition. Akon wasn't losing sleep over the breakup. He reportedly welcomed a baby boy with his new wife, a designer named Rosina, in 2008. By the time 2012 rolled around, Akon had filed paternity documents to become the legal parent of 2 sons he fathered out of wedlock in 2008 and 2009. News outlets alleged that both the children belonged to Rosina. According to TMZ, Akon asked the court for the children to be eligible to inherit anything from him and to keep his last name. According to the Jasmine brand, the 2012 court ruling made Akon the legal father of 6 children in total. He may have shied away from talking about his many wives in the past, but in 2013, Akon was ready to live his truth. He told TMZ the idea of a man being with one woman for the rest of his life is unrealistic. He also said he didn't think it was possible to find one woman who could satisfy all his needs. As of this video, we can't confirm his total number of wives or children, but we have seen many women come in and out of his life, including Love and Hip Hop star Trisha Anna, Amber Rose, a woman named Lucinda Lee, and hip hop groupie Selena Powell. In 2021, Love B. Scott revealed Akon's wife Rosina would be joining the cast of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. There were other reports that Akon's first wife, Tamika, was also joining the cast. Upon hearing the rumors, Tamika took to her Instagram and stated she was Akon's only legal wife. She also added, "If there is a fake wife joining the show, it's definitely not his real wife." While some people think negatively about Akon's lifestyle, he certainly has enough money to support all his wives, children, and their households. He has amassed a fortune thanks to his top-charting albums, his 2 successful record labels, and the artists he has cultivated, like T-Pain and Lady Gaga. As long as he continues to support his wives and their children, and if everyone involved is on board with the way he chooses to live, then who are we to judge? If you enjoyed this video, let us know down below. And thanks for watching RRG.